Hey, this is a really quick video to let you guys know just something interesting about the way wind flight arrows or your 35th point will be spent versus your 36th. Uh, the tooltip for wind flight arrows is a little bit deceptive. When you hover over it before you spend any points, it says increases all damage by 5%. You spend 1 point in it, and it says increases all damage by 5% because that's when you spend the 1 point. It's still, it's only increasing it by 5%. And notice how now I have 2 points spent in it, and it says increases all damage by 5.5%. The deception here is that before you spend that second point, you're thinking, okay, well, if I spend another point, it'll increase it by another 5%. And of course, that's not true. If you got 5% every single point that you spent, that would be very, very overpowered. So the way it works is the first point is 5%. Every point after that seems to be 0.5%. I actually did the math on it, and something to keep in mind, it's not like the base damage here of, you notice on this one, your base damage is 10,730 to 10,732. There's a 2-point spread, oh boy, in the damage of the bow at this point. The damage increase is reflected on all the tooltips, and I don't think it matters if the multiplying happens before or after all the other stuff. But you'll notice and I actually did a spreadsheet on it. It's a lot easier to see. Let me see here, right here. The number of points in wind flight arrows was before any points were spent. We had 604k for a wind burst, 634,405 with 1 point, and 637.426. That's only a 4.7% increase from 1 to 2. But if we take it from B3 to D3, it's 5.5%. So going up 5% and then another 0.5% from the base, it's only 0.47% increase from 1 point to 2 points. It's still a 0.5% increase from the base. So everything, it's not increasing the single point by another 0.5%. It's increasing the 0 points in it, the baseline, by 0.5%. So you can see, let's just crunch this down right here. There. 1 meaning, it is itself plus another, 5.5%. So if we change this to a percent, it's, we can actually do, minus 1 here. There, 5.5%. If we go back again and, check it out with C3, if we're comparing 1 point to 2 points, it's only a 0.47%. Oops. Let's do 0.476% increase from a 5% increase. So you've got to be careful. You're not comparing the 1 point to 2 points. You're comparing no points to 2 points. It gives you 5.5% increase. So let's just do a format painter across all that so that it's all the same. And copy, paste. There we go. So you see it's across the board. 5. Now here's the weird thing. Barrage has a little bit more than the 5.5% for some reason. This is the baseline damage of Barrage, the damage to the primary target. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And if you look at the tooltip for Barrage, you'll notice right here, rapidly fires a spray of shots for 2.6 seconds, dealing 881,558 physical damage to the target and an average of 440, 779 damage. Oh, why did that change? Oh, that's right, my food buff wore off. This is all with a food buff on. And you can see it'll go on there. But 446,710 was the amount, and 446,710 physical damage to each other enemy in front of you. So that's the average damage to the non-primary targets. So the thing to keep, to take away from this is, it seems like every additional point adds a 0.5% bonus to the baseline damage. That's the 0 points before you put any points in Wind Flight arrows. It's this 0 point here, like your baseline damage before Wind Flight arrows is taken into consideration, times whatever the bonus is from Wind Flight arrows. So it's not going add 5%, then add another 0.5%. It's going just add 5.5% to this to get that, right? That's the important thing to take away from this. Anyway, that's all I got for you. See you later.